Hi and welcome to the Geek Legion of Doom. I'm Leo and this is...
Hey!
Today we're going to be talking about Leon. Now we've just watched this. This is actually the director's cut of the film. Leon, also known as The Professional in some countries. So I'll give you a brief summary of the film if you haven't seen it before. I pre-warn you now there will be spoilers. If you haven't seen the film, you may want to check the film out before watching this review. Essentially, Leon is a story of a hitman played by Jean Reno, and he, by a series of circumstances, ends up looking after a 12-year-old girl, not by choice. It's essentially the story of them sort of bonding over a period of time and him sort of teaching her the ways of being a hitman after sort of the agents who are kind of on the take or whatever, bad guys, kill her family. Mathilda is the character played by Natalie Portman. And it's the story of them sort of their time together and her learning the tricks of the trade, ultimately ending in a big shootout. So what did you think? It's the first time Chloe's seen this film.
Yeah, I thought it was very good. I did like it.
Yeah?
It was, yeah, it had some really good scenes in it. I liked the action scenes. I did like the relationship, sort of, the fact that it looked at the relationship as well, but it was a little bit paedophilic.
Yeah. I mean, the film, we're in 2013 now, and the film was made in the mid-90s, and although, obviously, paedophilia has always been there, in those days, I don't think it was quite at the forefront of people's minds as it is on these days. So watching it now, it kind of that certainly stands out, especially in the director's cut. In the standard version, the theatrical version, it was made, although there was still an element of that, it was made more like a father-daughter relationship. But the director, Luc Besson, this is the version that he wanted to make. And this is what we've watched today, and there is a bit more to it. It never goes the full hog. It's only ever implied.
Yeah, he never really goes there, but it is implied. And so there's some moments in the film where you're like, where is this going?
I think if it was released today, it would get. I don't think.
It would get slated.
It would get very, very bad publicity, I think.
Yeah.
And like I said, I remember when it was released back in the day. I'm showing how old I am there. But,
back in the day.
and it was brought up, but like I said, there wasn't the sort of the media frenzy of. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not sort of trying to defend it, anything like that. But it certainly wasn't on people's tongues. People didn't, I think, know necessarily the word paedophile back then as much as they do now. But there you go.
As far as an action film was concerned, it was pretty good.
It's an awesome action film, and it's not filled with action, but the action scenes that they do have are so good. You know, I really enjoyed it. So,
yeah.
What do you think of the cast? I mean, how did you feel they performed?
I'm not very good with names, but I like the lead girl.
Natalie Portman.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like her.
Yeah.
And I like the head mafia guy.
What Tony? What the
bank guy?
Yeah, Tony.
Yeah.
Played by Danny Aiello.
Yeah. I like how he's like, yeah, I'm better than the bank. You can't knock Tony. What?
I personally really like Gary Oldman, who plays Norman Stansfield, who's kind of the main antagonist, who's a corrupt DEA agent. I mean, Gary Oldman's obviously a fantastic actor, but I think it's one of my favourite roles, certainly for him, because he is just batshit crazy. There's no,
yeah,
he's a pill popping.
I don't know how he
actually
got a job in
no.
this.
No, I mean,
in this film, realistically, he would be sacked.
I must admit, I mean, the D. I've never seen such a lax, even corrupt. They're very, very lax police there. I mean, I don't know how they get away with what they actually get away with, but there you go.
It's a film, it's fine.
It leads me on to what didn't you like? What sort of where do you think it sort of fell down?
Other than the paedophilia, the only thing that annoyed me was that she planted his favourite plant in the middle of a field, which was a bit like, well, because anyone could just kick that over or like run it over with a lawnmower or something like that. But she's only what 12?
Yeah. So you can kind of forgive her for that. But to be fair, that's if that's any criticism, obviously that's.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good film. I quite like it.
I did have a couple of issues with it. I mean, it was more. Again, these are more nitpicky. I suppose the biggest one is the first scene of the film is where you're first introduced to him as a character, and what happens is you essentially see him on a job against some kind of criminal, and he essentially takes out the entire troop of bodyguards and mercenaries, and it just seems almost a bit too easy. Yeah, it's almost supernatural. And there's a scene where these shutters come down. There's loads of bullet holes that sort of come through it, and he sort of looks through one of the bullet holes at one of the guys inside, and this guy's like shooting the shutters with a machine gun, and he's untouched by it. And it almost seems a bit supernatural. And I get he's meant to be this like.
I kind of thought that was cool.
It does look good. Yeah.
It portrays him in the right way.
It does look cool, and he's like obviously nails, but it's almost a little bit whoa, Is he some sort of like supernatural ghost who can just appear and disappear? And
it's a film.
Yeah, I know.
It's not real.
Really? Shit. The only other issue is again it's a nitpick. It's a minor point in my aspect, but it's where towards the end of the film, essentially the police storm the hotel where he's hiding out, and after a big shootout, he essentially very, very quickly disguises himself as a policeman and kind of gets out a little bit easily. And I thought,
how long does it take to get dressed into a policeman?
Exactly, and he's in a full SWAT outfit, and he's already wounded, he's already been shot, and then the police just go, off you go. In some respects, I can, maybe they'll sort of, they want to get the wounded person out, but they would. Surely that there was.
Check under as well.
They said there's 200 policemen there apparently. Not one of them thought, hang on a second, is this maybe the guy that's.
Yeah. Wait, he's got the same wound as that guy we're trying to kill. No.
Yeah,
let him go.
It's a minor point of difference really, because obviously it does. You have to get them out of the apartment somehow, I suppose, and that I guess is the way to do it. But
it
apart
would be
from
a shame if they blew it up and then that would be it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
and he wasn't going to fit down that hole. No. So, realistically, as far as a film goes, that's the only way you could get out.
Yeah. I mean, it takes you out of it a little bit, I would say, but it's a minor point. Now, I'm going to go straight to the end. So again, I'll point out this as a spoiler. He does die at the end. What do you think of that? What's your opinion on him dying?
I'm kind of, I don't know, because I'm sad that he dies. But I don't know, because if he lived at the end, then the paedophilia thing would probably carry on and get worse.
Yeah.
So it's good that he died.
He gave him a heroic
ending. Yeah, that's the way to go. I think.
And I think realistically, the life as a hitman is probably going to end like that certainly if you're in that profession.
Well, yeah.
There's a good chance that's going to happen.
You're going to get shot.
Yeah, it's
at some stage, all blown up. Yeah, in some cases.
So I quite like the ending. Yes, you do buy into him as a person, and you get invested in his character. So it is sad, and but I think it's handled very well. But he does have the last laugh. I won't spoil that for you.
Yeah, it's good that she goes back to school.
Natalie Portman I thought was really good in it. I got to say for. Obviously she's had a really good career since then, obviously because she's a good actress, but, 12 years old, and I'm sure that was her first acting job, certainly on a major feature. I thought she was really good.
Yeah, I think she made that film.
No, she was really good. The other sort of thing I would say, the actual cinematography, the angles and the sort of the shots of New York, really good, really stunning photography. So, very good direction by Luc Besson, and I don't think he's beaten it since. If I'm quite honest, he's done some good films. Fifth Element, and I really liked. But to me, this is his best work. I feel the director I'm talking about. Would you change anything?
I quite like the beginning. when he's got his sunglasses on, and you see the reflection, and that's how it's filmed.
And the lighting and everything, where he sort of disappears in the shadows. That was cool.
Yeah.
Would you change anything? If you were in charge of the film now, would you change anything?
Would I change anything? Probably less paedophilia. And maybe more of a parenting kind of relationship rather than a...
If it were made today, that's how they would do it, I think. I don't think they would... You know, making a film like that in 2013, I don't think they would...
Well, fear of getting arrested, probably.
Well, it's, you know, you'd have loads of people kicking off, and I would imagine it'd be banned in certain places, and certainly get a lot of negative press. I don't think you could make a film with those sort of themes now and really expect it to be a general release without getting some serious flack. I mean, it's a ballsy move. It was a ballsy move making a film like that even back then. These days, I think it's a different world, really, and it's...
I think it's definitely a bit of a classic film, though. I mean, I've only just seen it today, but I think it's pretty good.
Would you recommend it to anyone? If someone said, I want an action film, would you say, is Léon out?
Yeah, I would, but I would probably warn them about the paedophilia thing, to be honest.
Fair enough.
I'd be like, well, if you don't mind that sort of thing, then that's fine. But no. I think it's a good film, but it would be better if that wasn't in it.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I would actually really like to see a sequel to it personally. I think, you know, enough time has passed where Natalie Portman has grown up, and you could genuinely have a sequel where she's now an adult and essentially carried on being a
like a badass hitman.
Yeah, I mean, obviously if she started at 12, she'd be, you know, really good at this point in time.
A bit like Kick-Ass.
Yeah. So, a fantastic film. What would you give it out of 10?
I'd give it a good 8, I think.
I'd give it a 9, so between the two of us, that's an 8.5. So, 8.5 out of 10.
That's a pretty good score.
Not bad, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, tell us what you think of the film. Leave some comments below and subscribe to our channel. We'll see you next time. Cheers. Bye.